Okay, so here's the general hypothesis. I've been dealing with these attacks for over a year, and I've been really considerate in the approach of trying to withstand as much of this attack as possible because after a certain time, it became very obvious to me that the only thing that can do this is a type of sophistication that would be in parallel to people who have threatened me, but generally it's like driving a Lamborghini, like hardly anybody has this ability. You may have had to work with some kind of defense system, perhaps surveillance. This stretches into the ideas of Epstein. It stretches into high level revolving door positions like at the Pentagon. So, and why people like myself have to exile and people like Whitney Webb has to exile. So what I'm trying to really do here is get this comprehensive attack, because imagine it's like an anaconda that is basically surrounded your entire existence. So then your computer breaks down. My other computer, that's a laptop that cost me $5,000, can't be recovered, not even by Apple. And I come here to Brazil and they slice through the network like it's butter. But generally, I've been tracking the programs, I've been noticing the remote login type of issues that I've been having, and I can generally guess that what they've been using is one of the routers of the house to slip into a disk type of authorization that is even below my actual operating OS. So it's kind of like a root level type of intrusion, or at the BIOS level. And then they use the router to, I think, redirect the signal back to what I can showcase is a virtual machine working within my machine. And yesterday I couldn't even save the project files because they were being not actually saved to the desktop. And then when I would return to the edits, it would be back like, I don't know, days sometimes of editing. So I've been trying to edit the same thing for almost like 10 days. It's a lot of hours of explanation, but through the whole process, I'm unable to edit simply because of one of the most violent type of systematic hacking that I've ever witnessed, let alone be the actual victim of such an attack. So my analogy is like, if you drive a Lamborghini, don't be surprised if you get caught. And every time that I have mathematics that is emergent, is improving, and what I hope to show in some cases might even be a novel way of approaching certain concepts, they amp it up. They just increase the, it got to a level where it's so bad that for 3 weeks, I had like 4 different computers, 2 different cell phones, and not a single way to connect to the internet. And this can be verified by my mother-in-law that was staying with us, with me and my father also witnessed this type of behavior. So I just want to let the audience know how bad it's gotten and why I'm almost feeling like I'm imprisoned without due process, and I'm unable to even create a single beautiful, well-explained mathematics, as if my only choice is to dump mathematics and then give leniency for somebody to use a narrative against me, because I don't see what logic there is to amplify surveillance apparatus when the very act of shutting me down with no internet for a month resulted in hundreds of pages of work in revolutionary formulas. At least from my perspective, was revolutionary for myself, more so than when they were actually allowing a certain digital interaction. So I don't have AI help. My calculators are attached to the internet and they get intercepted. They get erased sometimes in the middle of me actually putting up the calculations. But like I said, the proof is in the pudding. I have 400 pages of pen and paper work, and I intend to show the audience exactly how you can calculate using pi without any types of limits, without having to invoke another irrational constants, and basically close it out to number 5. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I know it was a big rant, but I really have to be, I guess, speak with a certain amount of specificity to make sense of what's actually happening. So, all right, till next time.